will now speak to Selim Raihan, who is a professor of economics at the University of Dhaka, joining us from there. Thanks for your time on Al Jazeera. So one of the challenges facing the interim government, Muhammad Yunus's interim government, is, of course, rebuilding Bangladesh's economy. What are the biggest issues for the public, and what do they want to see a reversal on?
Thank you, Al Jazeera. I think the biggest challenge is to restore the law and order situation at this moment, which is extremely fragile. So, and then that is affecting the economic activities quite a lot. That affected the supply chain, that affected easy transportation across the countries, and many small businesses and production activities have been severely affected. So I think this is the primary and the foremost priority of the government to restore this kind of, the law and order situation so that economy comes back to the normal track. At the same time, you know that the country has been facing over a period of more than 2 years, high inflation and also serious macroeconomic instability. Two of our major growth drivers, export and remittances, they are showing declining trend, and especially remittance, which is not really coming through the formal channels for a quite long period of time. And that is adding, a lot of pressure on the falling foreign exchange reserve.
Right.
So, in a nutshell, these are the kind of situations which the interim government needs to focus very seriously on.
But of course, it's unclear how long that interim government will remain in place. So, what does this mean in terms of the mandate that the government has given, and how quickly Muhammad Yunus will need to deliver?
You are very much right, because the interim government alone can't do anything unless there is a political consensus. And the stakeholders are the students who actually fought for, they're the leaders of this movement. Then you have the political parties, you have military, and then we also have the private sector and the bureaucracy. So still there is no kind of clear picture, whether there is an agreement among these stakeholders to let, how much time they would be given to the interim government to address these issues. One thing we need to point out that this is not only the economic issues, but a lot of reform is needed in the political, in the administrative, in the constitutional areas, institutional areas. Otherwise, the risk is that we may go back to the square one. And then the whole, the intention of this or the demand of this movement will be lost.
And of course, with Bangladesh being a major garment exporter, how closely do you think that the international financial markets will be watching the moves that Muhammad Yunus and the interim government make?
I'm quite sure there will be very close eyes on the activities of the interim government. But the one positive thing is that Dr. Yunus is worldwide. He's an accepted and very much known person. And then I think he can actually tell the international audience that what happened in the past, but we want to rebuild the country. We want your help, and ready-made garments industry is our backbone. And this industry needs to be supported. And we know that we have, the Bangladeshis graduating out from the LDC status in 2 years from now, and this will pose another serious challenge. So it's a very high time for the interim government, and I think for Dr. Muhammad Yunus, to make an appeal to the international community for a greater support to rebuild the country.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us from Dhaka.
Thank you.